The sound of shattering glass tore through the silence. David's hands trembled as he gripped the whiskey tumbler, his eyes fixed on the divorce papers scattered across the kitchen counter. The home he once cherished, a testament to 12 years of marriage to Emily, now felt suffocating, its walls heavy with shadows whispering betrayal. 2 nights earlier, Emily had stood in the doorway, arms crossed, delivering her revelation with chilling nonchalance. "I'm going on a date, David," she said, the word date slipping from her lips as if it were a casual mention of errands. David's laugh was sharp, brittle. "A date?" he echoed, the disbelief in his voice cutting through the air. "With who, or should I ask how many?" Emily didn't flinch. "His name is Eric," she replied, her tone infuriatingly calm. "A colleague. I need this. I need to feel alive again." Her words struck David like a physical blow. Alive? Hadn't 12 years of shared life, mortgages, weekend getaways, and laughter over morning coffee been enough? Or had it all been a lie? "Do you even hear yourself, Emily?" he asked, his voice trembling with fury barely contained. "You're married. You swore vows. Do they mean nothing to you?" Emily shrugged, her indifference carving deeper wounds than any argument could. "I've given you everything, David. It's my turn to have something for myself." He didn't argue. Not because he agreed, but because he knew that fighting someone who'd already burned the bridge was futile. Instead, his response was cold, a final warning. "Do what you want, Emily. But actions have consequences." The next morning, David woke early, his resolve hard as granite. This wasn't mere betrayal, it was war. If Emily was intent on shattering their life, he would ensure she felt the weight of every broken piece. David began with precision. He traded the unkempt look of a complacent husband for the sharp, polished image of a man reborn. A professional haircut replaced neglected locks. A tailored navy blazer framed his renewed confidence. His battered sedan gleamed after a meticulous cleaning, a reflection of the transformation within. When Emily descended the stairs in a tight black dress, her eyes lingered on David, as if expecting jealousy or bitterness. She received none. "Going somewhere?" he asked, his tone dismissive as he grabbed his keys. Her lips twisted in annoyance. "What's that supposed to mean?" David smirked, his expression sharp enough to wound. "Exactly what I said. Enjoy your date. And remember, there are always consequences." Before she could respond, he was gone. David met Rachel, a co-worker who had been a quiet presence in his life, at a quaint wine bar. Their connection, once purely platonic, now carried a spark ignited by the ashes of his broken marriage. "David," she greeted him, her voice warm, her smile a balm for his turmoil. "You look different." "Different how?" he asked, settling into his seat. Her gaze lingered, confident, determined. For the first time in weeks, David laughed, a genuine, deep sound that startled even himself. But beneath the warmth of their easy conversation, a darker resolve brewed. Emily wanted to play games? He would rewrite the rules. Late that night, Emily returned, her heels clicking against the floor. She froze at the sight of David, calm and composed, sipping scotch in the dimly lit living room. "You're still awake?" she asked, her voice cautious. David's gaze was cold. "How was your date?" he asked, devoid of emotion. Emily faltered, guilt flickering across her face. "David, don't," he interrupted, his voice cutting. "I don't care where you went or what you did. But you'll care soon enough." The next morning, she woke to an empty bed and a stark envelope on the kitchen counter. Inside were the divorce papers and a note. "Actions have consequences. Enjoy your freedom." Freedom wasn't what awaited her. David had set his plans into motion, a calculated dismantling of every comfort she'd taken for granted. David handed a manila folder to Lucas, his attorney. It was a collection of damning evidence, bank statements, phone records, and photos, proof of Emily's betrayal. Lucas leaned back, a faint smile curving his lips. "We're not just filing for divorce, David. We're going for blood." Emily's carefully curated world began to crumble. A message from her boss summoned her to the office, where she faced termination for violating company policy. Her savings were frozen, her reputation in tatters. Even Eric, the man she'd risked everything for, distanced himself after David's investigator paid him a visit. When Emily finally begged David for forgiveness, tears streaming down her face, he met her pleas with unyielding calm. "This wasn't a mistake, Emily. It was a choice. And now you'll live with it." While Emily floundered, David thrived. His transformation extended beyond his personal life, earning him respect and admiration at work. Ava, a trusted confidant, saw him in a new light. One evening over dinner, she leaned closer, her voice soft. "You're stronger now, David. Smarter. A better version of yourself." David smiled faintly. "I had to be." Emily's betrayal had broken him, but from the wreckage, he was building something unshakable, a life not defined by the past but sharpened by its lessons.